average driving experience in Latin. The movie begins in an American restaurant where Go, a quiet and mysterious man from South Korea, is located. He's not here for the food, but beyond his tough guy facade, there's a kind soul with children, like that little girl who's been watching him since he arrived. The affection for the girl ends with the arrival of some Russians he was expecting. At least he leaves the little girl in origami as a keepsake. Acting immediately, he heads through the back area of the restaurant, where the Russians are closing a deal with a man named John. Although Gon knows him better as his target. After talking to him and the Russians, the hitman prepares to collect the evidence when he hears the door opening. Believing they were more enemies, Gon doesn't hesitate to pull the trigger just in case. They weren't enemies. Tormented by this, Gon takes refuge in alcohol in an attempt to forget. The only thing he achieves is worrying his friend Chaos, who bursts into his house with the help of his Colombian colleagues Alvaro and Juan. Once with Gon as possible, Chao takes him to his boss, a Chinese-American triad named Daiban. Whenever he sees him, it means he has a new job, so Gon reminds him his recent assignment was actually the last, although Daven reminds him of something worse, the murder of the girl. Consequently, Gon must travel to South Korea to take care of a loose end, the girl's mother. The hitman reluctantly agrees, but not before warning Daiban that he will kill him if he invades the privacy of his home again. In Korea, Gon is met by his contact, Byung, who takes him to a rundown apartment as his refuge. On the other hand, the story introduces Mo Gyung, a risk manager with a simple routine, doing her job at an investment company and visiting her sick mother in the hospital. She is an ordinary woman unaware that a man is following her, Gon. He doesn't do it for pleasure, but because it's his job. That woman is the mother of the girl he killed, his new target. Later, Mo goes to the police station to request the belongings of her late husband, Jungkook. Detective Yang explains they still can't give her his things, as there might be something incriminating John Lee, Mo's supervisor, a guy with alleged corruption charges. Taking advantage of Mo's absence, Gun sneaks into her house for clues, noticing memories of the girl who once woke these holes. Her name was Yumi, her grandmother. Despite her illness, she always remembers her, especially in dreams. Mo tries to appear strong in front of her mother, but inside she's shattered. They've taken nearly everything from her. The next day, at a party at her work, John Lee publicly congratulates her for her efforts in the company, even convincing her to delight those present with her singing, something she hadn't done since she lost Yumi. Among the listeners are Gon and Byung, with the latter telling Lee that Mo doesn't seem to know about their real business. During the event, Mo recalls her last day with Yumi when she sent her to the US with her father Jungkook. When it was time to pick up her daughter upon her return, she never appeared. At the end of the party, Mo goes to the hospital and there Gon sees her face to face. Due to the elevator malfunctions, they spend time getting to know each other, but of course the hitman only gives false information. With the elevator back in operation, they both go their separate ways for now. Already with her late husband's belongings, Mo notices a hidden flash drive that requires a special password. As soon as he accesses it, Lee is alarmed since the pen drive contains all of his illicit financial transactions. Through the hidden cameras in Mo's office, Lee discovers that she has the pen drive in her next investigation. At Mo's, Gun enters Yumi's room and is again overwhelmed by guilt. Just then, Byung calls to inform him they want Mo dead. That night, when the hitman decides to fulfill his mission, he finds the woman watching her daughter's recital video. Amid tears, Mo tries to hug the screen as if Yumi would come out. Of course, that doesn't happen, just as Gon can't pull the trigger. Changing the scene, Daven sends another assassin to Korea, Singh, a ruthless individual who eliminates his targets by any means necessary. I repeat, by any means necessary. This is how he deals with the other loose ends in Lee's corruption case. The only one left is Mo. Speaking of her, Gon finds her unconscious after she consumed a large number of pills. She wants to leave this world, something that brings back bad memories for them. This makes it easier for him to fulfill his mission. However, in the next scene, we see Mo resting in the hospital, while Detective Yang wonders about the bullet holes in his home. Due to Gon's passivity, Divine is forced to play his ace up his sleeve, Chaos. Unaware of this, the protagonist spends the night next to Yumi's ashes, asking for forgiveness for what he did. Mo, moderately recovered, is summoned by Detective Park, Yang's superior and head of financial crimes. He tells her that the least she knows is just a facade. The executive is actually laundering money from human trafficking. Jungkook and 2 others were on his payroll, though Jungkook went to the US to sell Lee's accounts to the Russian Mafia. As we know, his plan failed, like the others involved. Nevertheless, the incriminating evidence is still out there, so we ask Park if her husband left her anything before he died. The woman, far from cooperating, refuses to believe her husband took their daughter to a criminal deal. Well, I'm afraid it did happen, and now both are dead. In shock, Mo faints. Knowing they're after her, Gon calls her as soon as she wakes up to help her escape the hospital. Unfortunately, Asing had already reached her room. Mo hides in the bathroom, thinking her time has come. Not yet. After a struggle, Asing narrowly escapes her. In trying to catch him, Gon is intercepted by Yang, though disarming him is easy. The hitman tracks Asing to the subway, where his prey is lost. Disguised as a technician, Asing returns to the hospital and waits for Mo right across from the elevator. However, when the doors open, he discovers that Mo is being escorted by Park and company. Moreover, there is something in the atmosphere that disturbs. That was with the deceased's fault. The protagonist calls Byun and tells him to stop pursuing Mo, since the police already have the pen drive. Then another voice joins the call, Chaos, who asks if he remembers that mission in Cambodia, when they fought together in the war. Suddenly, an annoyed Lee grabs the phone and demands the protagonist retrieve the pen drive quickly. With the same abruptness, the Colombians subdue Lee, and Chaos warns him that no matter how much they're paying him, he can't disrespect him like that. Returning to Mo, the detectives take her to a safe apartment where she unlocks the contents of the pen drive. Gon, who is lurking around the place, witnesses the arrival of a bunch of assassins hired by Lee. Therefore, he calls Mo to warn her that there is an infiltrator among the officers. It's Yang with a burned disc. With Lee's evidence, Yang leaves the apartment and leaves Mo at the mercy of the thugs. When meeting Byung, Yang demanded more money for the disc, as he had to get his hands dirty, which wasn't part of the deal. At the same time, Gun bursts into the apartment with gunfire and punches, thus taking down Mo's attackers. Chaos has now entered the gate. While Juan and Chaos watch from a distance, Alvaro enters the site to take care of Mo. He forgot that she has a guardian angel, a rather bloody one. Even cornered by Juan and Chaos, Gun calls Mo and urges her to escape the apartment in exchange for the truth about what happened to her husband and daughter. Having said that, the hitman confronts the shooters, keeping them distracted so Mo can slip away. In the pursuit of Gon, Chow comes across a little surprise: a grenade. Nonetheless, Chow survives this encounter and successfully manages to intercept them. Before killing him, he asks why he's doing this, to which he responds that he's simply tired of his lifestyle. Having said that, he breaks free from him and also from Juan. When he calls Mo to give her instructions, she is surprised by Alvar. That thing is still breathing. Distracted by the call, the hitman becomes Juan's prey, or so it seems, because he manages to escape by the grace of the script. In a subsequent call, Gon asks Chaos to let Mo go, but he responds that because of her, they have lost too much. If he really cares for her, he knows where to find her. In her work, in Lee's clutches, Mo asks why he killed Yumi, which surprises him as he doesn't remember ordering her murder. Rather, he blames her for not protecting Yumi, since she also had a ticket to the US but chose to stay for work, a mistake he now regrets. With an improvised explosive, the protagonist tricks the police into thinking there's a bomb in the financial building. Seeing his territories around it, Lee quickly transfers his money to his ghost accounts. Chaos, for his part, realizes that communications are not working, and that's because the police are following the anti-bomb protocol. Only one person could have devised this plan, his good friend Gun. Knowing he's hiding above the elevator, Chow and the Colombians open fire there. However, checking the top, they find no one. Not far away, Mo finds the janitor's corpse. With her keys, she escapes the office where she was trapped. Then, she goes to a room and cuts her bindings with scissors. Meanwhile, Chow and Alvaro deal with a figure moving swiftly through the hallway. Finally, he stops in front of Alvaro and challenges him to a hand-to-hand combat. During the struggle, Juan appears to help his colleague, although Gunn tricks him into shooting Alvaro. Thirsty for revenge, Juan promises to cut off Gunn's head. In her attempt to escape, Mo finds evidence that Lee is trying to transfer her money. Unable to allow that, the woman blocks the operation with a few clicks. Since he is left without a reward, Byun no longer has any reason to obey Lee. Meanwhile, Juan finds Gon trying to recover from his injuries. He is a cornered animal. The cornered animal always shows its cause. After that, Gon confronts Chaos in a fight that shifts from weapons to fists. The protagonist, already injured, seems to have no chance, but the environment plays in his favor. This gives him the green light to kill Chaos, a decision he prefers not to make for old time's sake. Returning to Mo, Byun manages to catch her and blames her for the lost money. In the absence of a monetary reward, Byung intends to claim a physical one. He does not always need Gun. With the bomb threat dismissed, the police lift the blockade and communications resume. Through a radio, Chow tells Gun that now it's his turn to save him, and by that he means doing his dirty work by killing Mo. Immediately, the protagonist tells Mo to take a weapon and shoot the man who comes out of the elevator, as that man is the murderer of her daughter. Faced with this turn of events, Chow refuses to kill Mo and accompanies his friend in his final moments. Through the radio, Mo asks Gun for a signal, but only receives silence. The final scene is a flashback to Gun's childhood, when his mother asked him to stop crying because they would have a good life in the US. Well, in the US, things didn't get better. They fell into extreme poverty, and Gun witnessed how his mother left this world. Killing him is easy, not crying is impossible. And that's how this great movie ends. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and thanks for